The reason I am unshaven, disheveled, if you will, is because I could not sleep last night. I went to bed at probably 2:30 in the morning. It's about 7:15 in LA right now. So I got, what, 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep. The reason I did that is because of this podcast, this topic. This topic. The topic is this. Last night, the Nebraska Cornhuskers beat the Colorado Buffaloes in college football. I think it was 28-10. Not only did they beat them, the reason the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and I'm not a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, I don't care. I mean, fine. The reason the Nebraska Cornhuskers beat the Colorado Buffaloes was based solely upon the fact that the Nebraska Cornhuskers quarterback is a multicultural club member. The reason the Nebraska Cornhuskers beat the Colorado Buffaloes, who are quarterbacked by a non-club member who happens to be Dion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, the reason the Cornhuskers beat them was because Dylan Raiola. Dylan Raiola here's Dylan with his father. Let me give you a better view. Dylan Raiola's father is a club member, part Italian, part Native Hawaiian. His mother is multicultural, part Caucasian, part Native Hawaiian. Dylan Raiola is therefore 100% a club member. He's like a Sabra. Sabra is a Jewish term for Jewish people who are born in Israel. I think I got that right. Dylan Raiola is the quintessential multicultural club member. The reason this is so significant is in this context, Dylan Raiola, who is a freshman, was going against Shedeur Sanders, who is a senior. Shedeur Sanders is widely speculated, or at least put out there, as being the number one quarterback in America. Number two, maybe. Dylan Raiola should not in any way, shape, or form be a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders, based upon their experience. But my point is, and it's always been my point, is that the reason Dylan beat Shedeur Sanders is because Dylan Raiola, based upon the fact he's multicultural, is better equipped to succeed than Shedeur Sanders, who is not multicultural. We covered this with Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. I've said it over and over. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, not because of physical ability or physical attributes, because he's mentally better. Dylan Raiola destroyed Shedeur Sanders last night because Dylan Raiola was prepared to struggle. He had a process in place that enabled him to succeed under difficult circumstances. Shedeur Sanders was the opposite of that. Was the opposite of it. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it over and over and over again. Being multicultural, it's not about your skin color. It's about your multicultural experiences. The reason multicultural people succeed, the reason multicultural people are the best athletes, are the most, let me put it this way, most successful athletes, it's because of the multicultural experience. The multicultural experience, frankly, teaches us that the way forward is by doing an accurate, factual assessment of the world. If you do that actual factual assessment of the world, accurate factual assessment of the world, you can solve problems. You all know this. The biggest, the most important issue in the world, in your life, isn't whether you're fast or strong, smart or brilliant. It's whether you can solve problems. That's what it's about. Life is about succeeding in life, finding happiness. Has to do almost exclusively with solving problems. By virtue of being multicultural, you solve problems better. Last night was a perfect example. Colorado, quarterbacked by this flashy, braggadocious, kid, Shedeur Sanders. Nothing affects him. He's unbelievable. He can beat everyone. They asked, one of the questions they asked Shedeur in the lead up was the defensive coordinator for Nebraska, club member, by the way, said that he was going to stop Shedeur because Shedeur would not see the same look pre-snap as he saw post-snap. That's a significant statement. It's a strategic statement saying, here's what we're going to do. You know what Shedeur Sanders' response to that was? He can do whatever he wants. He can't stop me. That false, fake bravado doesn't serve you when things get difficult. Dion Sanders was asked the same kind of question relative to the defensive coordinator for Nebraska, club member. Dion Sanders was asked the same thing. And what did Dion Sanders say? Oh, well, people can't stop him. He's unstoppable. That approach to life, that approach where instead of exhibiting humility, instead of exhibiting a respect for your opponent, it works if you win every single time. It doesn't work the minute things get difficult. You know what Dylan Raiola's approach to preparing for this game was? It was talking to his mentor, Patrick Mahomes. And when Dylan Raiola was asked about his preparation and how he prepares for a game like this and why he thought he could be successful, he said that Patrick Mahomes has taught him that you prepare, prepare, prepare. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Versus, I can beat anyone. I'm this person. I have this false humility. I have this false bravado. That's the point. I watched this last night. I felt bad for Shedeur Sanders. He was unprepared for life. I felt amazing for Dylan Raiola because I said, that kid, he can do it. He can succeed at life no matter what because his parents have given him a baseline for attacking problems. That baseline for attacking problems is looking at a situation, assessing that situation, and then fixing it. It's not by sticking your head in the sand and acting as if you're the coolest person on earth. Okay, but that doesn't solve it. Doesn't solve the issue. Doesn't solve the issue. And this goes back to my premise. The reason why I was so excited and I couldn't sleep is my whole point has been, we talked about it in a previous podcast, being multicultural. It's not your skin color that distinguishes you or gives you distinct advantages. It's your life experiences as being a multicultural person. It's your life experiences as a multicultural person. If you're going to solve problems in life, if you're going to be happy in life, you have to solve problems. Problem solving is easier to do if you accurately assess the problem. The fact that we are multicultural, the fact that our lives are fact-driven, gives us a distinct advantage. As I said in a previous podcast, if you're multicultural, if your father's Latino and your mother's Asian, and you wake up in the morning and your parents are arguing like parents do, as a multicultural person, the last thing you think your parents are arguing about is you're pretty sure your parents are not arguing because one's African, one's Latino, and one's Asian. You know that is not the issue. What do you do when you hear your parents arguing? You sit back and you listen and you assess and you hear it. It's like all kids do. Your parents argue. It's how do you respond to that? Multicultural kids listen to that argument or listen to those arguments, and then they understand, oh, well, they're arguing because we're short on money. They could be arguing because we have some money and we're disagreeing about how to spend it. The issue is that instead of concluding that this argument is based upon ethnicity, multicultural kids, multicultural participants make a factual assessment based upon the actual facts. Those actual facts then dictate their response, then dictate our response. Hence, multicultural athletes are better at assessing facts in a real-time basis, and once they assess those facts, they know what to do. They have an answer. Versus non-multicultural participants who invariably will attribute a cause and effect analysis based upon ethnicity. It's important. It's processing the facts that makes you better at processing facts. Multicultural people get to do that. Multicultural people do that every day, and it explains why you have multicultural quarterbacks destroying their competition in college and in the pros. It is why multicultural athletes are so decisive in key situations. Triple espresso. Remember, triple espresso. The leading goal scorers for the women's national soccer team that won the gold medal were all multicultural club members, capable of processing factual disputes, complicated situations in real time, and assessing what needs to be done. Last night, Shedeur Sanders couldn't do that because his parents raised him to mock humility. They raised him to just think you're the best no matter what. Who says? That's not true. To be the best, you have to work hard. To be the best, you have to have humility. You have to respect your opponent. Dylan Raiola did that, and he destroyed Shedeur Sanders. It is a dream come true from my perspective because I get to come and talk to you guys about two things. Like and subscribe, please, but also about look and see. This is what happens if you properly assess a situation. Multicultural people do that. They do that. This is why I was so adamant about Caitlin Clark. I keep getting DMs from people saying, you say being multicultural is most important, and yet you say it's wrong to discriminate against Caitlin Clark. That's inconsistent. No, it's not inconsistent. It's 100% consistent. Caitlin Clark is amazing. She's amazing because if you look at the facts surrounding her play, she's better than everybody. That has nothing to do with me saying multicultural people, we should support each other and dig each other. It has nothing to do with me saying multicultural people are better athletes because they assess problems differently and do so better. Because both scenarios are factually based. That's what sets us apart as club members, multicultural club members. That's what sets us apart. That's why we dominate sports right now. It's why you look. Mark Zuckerberg he's the largest. He's the founder of Meta, Facebook. He's multicultural. His wife is Asian. They have Hapa children. It's that processing. It's that openness to factual analysis that sets multicultural club members apart. Dylan Raiola is unbelievable. His family is unbelievable, and his approach to problem solving is predicated upon, or is based in many ways upon, being multicultural. Shedeur Sanders, stop it. Here's what you should do, is step back, make factual assessments, look at the facts and make a decision based upon those facts. Those facts and those facts alone. Get better. It's not weakness to show humility. It's not weakness to acknowledge other people's abilities. That is why being multicultural is a gift. It's why I love it. It's why it's so important. And thank you. And I promise I will shave the next time I see you. Thank you.